Thursday. Hope you had a great day. The end of the week is almost here. That means the weekend. Yes! Even though I have to work this Saturday. But anyway, the weekend is here and I live for weekends, especially in the summer. Happy summer. Today is day 2 of this beautiful season. I am a Leo, a July baby, so you know I'm in my element right now. I want to come on and do a quick vlog before I go upstairs and watch some Nurse Jackie. Yes, I'm late to watching the show. It's funny, over the week I stumbled on a great controversial thought that summarizes what I've been feeling lately. And you know, a huge part of my brand is discussing the things I've gone through in many of my friendships. And this thought really spoke volumes to me. I do follow Tank, the singer, as well as his fiance, his children's mother, or one of them, no shade. And she's an entrepreneurial businesswoman, and she had a quote that read, "If you're a friend," I'm paraphrasing right now, but you'll see it above this clip. "If you're a friend and you don't support your friend's business, stop saying that that's your friend," right? Maybe I should actually look for the legit saying. If your friend, I was so off, if your friend has a business that you haven't supported yet, then stop saying that's your friend. Right? Now, you know, some may be like, whoa, this is like way extra dramatic, over the top kind of way to think. But let me tell you, as someone who has played such a supportive role in the people who I consider to be friends in my life, and so, like, when I say supportive role, meaning if it meant that I was going out of my way to be there for you, I was going to do that. If it meant that I had to drive far from where I live to support you, I was going to do that. If it meant that I had to reach down in my purse and swipe my debit card or give money to be there to support you for whatever it is you were doing, then I was doing that. If it meant that I'm that person that's checking in with you, you know, on a consistent basis, just to make sure that you're good, you're cool, just to see how you're doing, that's the kind of friend that I am, and that's what I feel we should be, because that's what I would want from people who claim to be my friends, right? And I have said this many times on this website, that there were many times that I did feel a lack of support from the people who I did consider to be friends. And as I'm trying to build this complex simplicity brand into something great, you know, I have been reminded even more lately that this thought is so true. If your friend has a business that you haven't supported yet, and stop saying that's your friend. Because at the end of the day, I do feel that if we really care about each other, if we really ride out for each other, we're going to support one another, right? You know, through the good, the challenges, the struggles, the triumphs, right? And, you know, I'm selling t-shirts, doing this website. It's been over a year I've been doing it, thank God. You know, and I'm noticing more and more that, you know, this thought rings to be true, or still rings to be true in my life in some ways. Now, this is not a video clip or a vlog for you to feel sorry for Chanel, not at all. The purpose of this vlog is actually to awaken us all, because some of us may be the friend who doesn't support our friends the way we should, and then some of us may be the friend who supports everybody but rarely gets it in return, and then some of us may be a little bit of both, right? Where we may be there to support at times, but then there are them times where we're just like not supporting. And I've racked my brains over the last few months to kind of figure out why some of us humans do this, knowing that we've had people who've been good to us in our lives, who have been that supportive person in our lives, or one of those supportive people in our lives. Why would we not want to support that person when they're doing their ventures or trying to better their careers or themselves in whatever way it may be? And that's the million-dollar question that I'm continuously trying to understand and find answers for, rationale for. You know, like I said, I'm not the perfect friend. By far, I'm not the perfect friend, but supportive is a huge part of who I am. There have been times where I felt foolish continuing to be supportive of others who I felt wouldn't make half of the efforts that I make, but it's just still a huge part of me to really want to come through and be that supportive friend, because I know what it feels like to not always have, to rarely ever get the support that you feel you should get from the people who do consider themselves to be your friends, right? And so what I'm learning at this stage in my life is this. I take note of what I see around me, in the midst of me trying to assess and make sense of things. I'm taking notes. And that's when, as I always say, I slowly but surely back out to the point where one day you're like, oh shoot, why I feel like I haven't spoken to Chanel in forever? Where is she? Why does she feel like she's so far out of my reach more than usual? And to some, or to most, it may feel like an overnight thing that I do, when really it's been a gradual process, right? And I say that to say, I'm not in the business in my 30s, approaching my mid 30s anymore, of riding out for people who don't really ride out for me like that. And, I've seen it all, where sometimes it's like, well, wow, I've supported this person for years. It seems like they're supporting other people out here. Why can't they support me? You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it, and, that's when I have to ask myself that question more frequently than not, maybe more than twice. That's when I'm like, you know what, Chanel, let's back on up. And like I said, if I see you as love is love, I'm not going to be that person that's going to roll my eyes and look the other way, that's going to ignore your existence. But you will feel that there is a difference between us. You know what I'm saying? And I may not be as present in your life the way that you were used to me being. And it's not to be vindictive. It's not to have that get back mentality. But it's just, at some point, I have to draw the line after a while. Like I said, if I know that I've been good to you, and for whatever reasons that gesture is not reciprocated when necessary, then that tells me a lot, right? It could be one of a few things. It could just be that maybe you're that selfish, you just don't realize that you're not being there the way you should for someone who's held you down a lot in life. It could be that you're low-key jealous because for whatever reasons, it's something that makes you feel threatened or robbed of achieving whatever it is that you feel this person is going to achieve. It could be just that you have a mentality where it's all about you, which I guess is in alignment with selfishness. Or it could be that you're just clueless. For some reason, your perception of things is so skewed, you don't even see that you're really not being a good friend. Like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, having this website has taught me so much, and especially about those around me, those who I've known for years, those who I've recently met. I've just learned so much. Even with myself, I've learned more about myself. And the fact that, I don't know. Some of us just really have a hard time owning our ish. That is the only thing I could think of, And the crazy thing I find in life is that those that are low-key jealous or like have a hard time being that supportive friend, they're like probably trolling what you do all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like constantly checking for you to see what you're doing, what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Even though for whatever reasons, they would never want that to be known in life, that they're actually like, yo, I see what Chanel's doing. Wow, like, she had an interview recently, or she's still making t-shirts. Like, they may never mention anything, may never support what you're doing actively, but are still stalking the ish out of you. But at the end of the day, what I've learned to cope, how I've learned to cope with this, like I said, is just, you see it for what it is, and you weigh that, to me that tells you where you stand with people a lot of times. It's funny, my husband recently joined Instagram and he's like, I don't understand the social media stuff, why do women take things so seriously? You'll get upset if someone doesn't like one of your posts. And I said, no, it's not that with women, love. I said, what I find with social media, and I did an audio recording about this early in my website days, what I find with social media is if there is a slight issue or a huge issue that you may not fully be aware of, social media will kind of show you, there may be something wrong here. So if there's been someone who's a friend or someone you're close to who has faithfully, supported what you put out there, whether they're commenting, liking, whatever, and out of the blue they stop, sometimes that is an inclination that there may be something going on there, right? All may not be well in friends land, or in acquaintance land, or however you want to put it. So I said, for me, it's not that social media is where it's like, oh my gosh, how could you not like my post? You hurt my feelings. This is crazy. It's more of, you liked everything else I posted last week, but you ain't like nothing this week. You ain't like nothing this week that actually were major things that might have been happening for me in this brand I'm trying to build. What is that telling me? I more so look at the psychological component of social media. It definitely reveals if there is something there. You just have to be open to looking at it and to know what you're looking at, And so I think that's where a lot of things go south on social media at times because, it kind of shows if there are any underlying issues there or any issues that might have just erupted that are there between you and someone else. And so for me, like I said, once I start to see that I've been there for this person, these people, I've supported them as best as I could. If they were selling something, I bought it. If they were doing something where I had to pay to see them, I was there. Whether you were singing, whether you were acting, whether you were a part of a choir, whether you were a part of a group, whether you were selling paintings, whatever it could have been, if I had it, I was supporting you, I was there. And once I see that that's not been reciprocated with me at this stage in my life and the things that I'm doing, then that tells me what I need to see and deal with, and how I need to moving forward when it comes to these people or this individual, so to speak. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm all about knowing your value and knowing your worth, even in friendships, as I always say. There's no reason to stick around and to continue to bend your back and break your back to be supportive of others when they're not being supportive of you. And it's so quick for me to be like, oh, I'm there. Oh, okay, it's gonna cost me about $10 in gas for that night. It's gonna cost me about probably $40 to get into wherever we're going, or $25 to get into wherever we're going. And then I have to probably buy a drink and eat and all of this. So this is easily $100 night, but I'm gonna be there and ride out with you and support you. But you can't buy a $21 t-shirt, or can't show your girl love on her website, or whatever it may have you. You know what I'm saying? If I see that, then I have to make the necessary adjustments. Love is love, but I'm not out here about being played a fool. I'm not about that life either, because like I said, I strive to treat people how I would like to be treated.